If you're a hairstylist that has anything to do with blonding services, then I'm sure you've heard of Blonde Solutions. They have a pigmented developer and it helps tone the hair like nothing before. The hair turns out super icy, nice and white, no yellow pigment left over in the hair. You guys have to try it, and I'm going to show you a bleach and tone where I use my Blonde Solution products. You guys can follow me over on Instagram at Christy@thecottage. Here's my client before, and yes, she does have extensions in. I'm going to let you know ahead of time that I'm going to do a separate video removing and reinstalling her extensions. So here's her before without any of her hair.
Okay, so I just got done pulling out the extensions, and right now we're going to be doing my bleach and tone, so we're going to mix for that. And I decided that I'm going to use the Blonde Solutions bleach because it has such nice lift. So here it is. So right now we're going to mix.
Because my client has already such naturally light hair, I'm just going to be using the 20 volume. And I also want to say, if you guys haven't tried this yet, get ready for a workout. This stuff takes like 4 minutes to mix. You have to make sure that all the pigment is blended in there and mixed really nicely. If you see any blue kind of throughout the bleach, then it means that it's not mixed enough and you need to keep stirring it up. I'm going to start by going through the front of her hairline, and I'm going to be honest, you do have to use a little bit more product because you don't want it to dry out and you want to make sure that you have heavy saturation. So I do feel that I use a little bit more product with the Blonde Solutions just to make sure that I get really good lift. But in the end, it looks amazing. Like, her hair lifts pretty nicely regardless because it is so light naturally. And I normally would use the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me with 20 volume still, but there was always still like a little hint of yellow left in her hair, and I always felt like I had to tone her hair. So I just want to put that out there that yes, her hair lifts very nicely because it is naturally light, but the level of iciness that I'm able to achieve her hair with using the Blonde Solution it's ridiculous. Like, I've never seen her hair so icy before. So I just want to put that out there, that make sure that you're using amazing saturation. Keep in mind that Blonde Solutions does not swell, so you have to be very accurate with your application, making sure that you're cross-checking your work and making sure that you're going all the way up to the line of demarcation because it does not swell. So if you're missing spots or not cross-checking your work, or if you think it's going to swell and you're leaving space between the line of demarcation and your application, then you might have little spots in the hair. So just make sure that you are double checking your work the first time. Just be extra cautious because it kind of threw me off the very first time that I used it. Normally when I put like the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me on her hair starts lifting within minutes. And I kind of started panicking because her hair, like, I applied the whole first side of her head. And when I got back to the top to check it, like, she hadn't really started lifting yet. And so I was kind of like worried that, am I doing something wrong? Did I not mix it okay? And no, it just, when they send you the packaging, they have a little instructions in there, and it says to make sure that it sits for the full hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So you just really have to make sure that it sits, and you have to let it process for the time that is recommended. I've been asked before how to order this, and I'll let you guys know that I am now an affiliate with Blonde Solutions. So I will leave a link in the description so you guys can order through my link if you guys are interested. I do need to let you guys know also that you do have to be licensed and you have to set up an account and you have to wait for approval to be able to order. So just keep that in mind. So this is the first time that I'm going through and kind of double checking my work. You just never want to be overly confident that you don't ever think that you would miss anything. So I just want to make sure that I'm going through and making sure she's not drying out. So I'm going to put a foil like right on her hairline. Sometimes I feel like where she's overly exposed to the air, especially on the hairline, I feel like sometimes that can dry out a little bit faster. So I always like to put a foil just right in that hairline area. If somebody has a lot more lift that they have to do, then I will add foil in my sections as I'm applying the lightener. Not like I'm going through and like foiling her head, but I'll just like insulate a few sections with foil and then make sure that helps her get better lift. But because her hair is so naturally light, I don't feel like I need to do that. However, I do feel like sometimes the hairline does dry out, so I am going to make sure to put that foil on there to keep it nice and moist. Ew, gross, you guys. Did I just use the word moist? That is disgusting. I didn't know what else to use. I was thinking like wet, keep the bleach wet, but that sounds bad too. Like what what else am I going to say to make sure that the bleach doesn't dry out? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it. The M word, moist. Ugh. If you guys watch Friends, is it Friends? And he like says it. Ugh, it's just not a good word. Don't use the word. I don't know what other word to use. Make sure the bleach doesn't dry out. Make sure the bleach has a nice consistency of wetness. It's just so bad. Anyways, I just want to apologize because I like stumbled on it when I was thinking about it, and then after I said it, I was like, son of a gosh darn it, I shouldn't have said it. Okay, somebody made a comment once about why I don't section my clients out or why I don't do my 4 quadrants. And that's because I don't want to be limited to 4 sections. I feel like I never section my clients because like I don't want to feel like I have to stay within that certain box or whatever. I feel like it takes so much longer to apply color. You can see on the sides I go beyond the ear when I do my application, and then that makes for a smaller back section where I can just kind of go straight across instead of having to do 2 sections up the back center. So that's just how I like to apply, is just kind of, kind of going more free around the head versus like sectioning precisely and, whatever. It's just everybody does their own application the way that they feel like they like to do it. And I just don't like being restricted to like having to stay within, 4 sections or foiling and having to do the same section on everybody. So that's just how I like to do my work. So again, with the foils, now that we've kind of gone through the back area, I'm just going to put some foils down to make sure that it stays insulated and it processes a little bit faster. And then make sure you're going through and checking your work. I like to go kind of more diagonal when I'm checking my work to make sure that I'm not seeing anything that's inconsistent in my application. So you can never check your work too much. I probably check it like 2 or 3 times at least, just to make sure everything's looking good. Then I'll check it again after she's been processing. And you can see here that she's been processing for like the 45 minutes to an hour at this point. So we're just going to go back through and make sure everything's not dried out. I'm not going to say it. We're going to make sure that she's not drying out and not having dry bleach on her scalp. We're going to make sure that she's staying nice and processing. I feel like such a dumbass. But anyways, so just make sure that you're checking your work and making sure that, because the bleach doesn't swell, make sure that your line of demarcation is covered and that you don't have any spots or any dark pieces in the hair. Okay, I don't know if it shows through on camera, but I'm trying to rub the bleach out so you can see just how white and icy the hair is underneath the bleach. I was stunned.
Okay, so my client just got done bleaching, and now we're going to go through and, well, she's sitting at the shampoo bowl actually. And I'm just kind of letting the bleach run through her ends because this blonde solution stuff is so amazing that it like tones the hair perfectly. So her roots are, I mean, I know normally roots get really bright anyways, but like they're not yellow bright, they're like icy white bright. So I want to do some bleach just to run through the ends of her hair because you can always see how dingy the ends are after you do like a fresh bleaching tone. So we're just gonna mix some more bleach right now just to run through her ends and do a bleach wash just really quickly and hopefully just like brighten those ends up really fast.
Okay, look how icy her hair is. I know roots usually get really light, but like it's like white. It's super icy. And you could see that it was yellow through the ends, but here I have the bleach sitting through her ends a little bit longer, and it actually toned her hair back down so much better that she really didn't have much yellow through her ends after running the bleach through just like a little bit, like maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, so we just did a few treatments on her hair. We did the acidic milk rinse, which I really love. Her hair feels really silky. And that kind of brings the pH back to normal and prevents the hair from feeling frazzled after it's been lightened. So we're going to tone her right now, and she really likes her hair to be nice and icy, like as cool and icy white as possible. So what I'm going to tone with is Paul Mitchell 10PA, the Demi 10A, and a little bit of the level 9V. And that's just gonna help if there's any unwanted like warmth or yellow tones in the hair, then that's just gonna, not that there is, but it's just gonna make sure to cancel any of that out. Oh, and then a teeny little drop of the rose gold. So this is what I'm gonna mix with. Okay, the way that I mix my formulations for her toning is I did about equal parts of the 10A and 10PA, maybe just a teeny little bit of the 9V, and the smallest little drop that's not even a measurable amount, like literally a drop of the rose gold.
Okay, so I let her process for about 7 to 10 minutes, and the reason why I toned her, even though I didn't necessarily need to, is because I always like to tone. First of all, look at her hair. It's like literally glowing. I just wanted to make sure that her hair was nice and cohesive and everything blended perfectly, and I just like to tone because I just want to make sure everything is nice and even. So I want to say that her hair, I usually tone at the same time every time, and I will say that yes, her hair gets nice and bright and super blonde and cool and everything, but like using the blonde solutions, this is totally different than any other time that I've done her hair. She likes her hair as icy as possible, and this literally, I've never seen her hair glowing. It looks fluorescent. It's literally looks clear. So this blonde solutions definitely makes a difference in how bright and white and icy we're able to lift her hair. Look at that. That lift is beautiful. Like, I've literally never seen her hair Look that icy. She's obsessed with it. So the Blonde Solutions does take a little bit of time to get used to using it and to understand the application and saturation and all of that. But I mean, look at that beautiful work. It's amazing. If you guys are interested in the extension part of the service, then I will upload that separately for like my next video probably. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and don't forget to like and subscribe.